Chosen one, I'll show you why this happens and why it proves your identity as one of God's chosen. Let's begin with identity, because everything flows from who you are. If you don't know what it means to be chosen, you will always mistake rejection as failure, when in reality, it is confirmation. The reason most people hate the chosen ones is not because of what positions you at the door. He wanted you to walk through all along. That's the hidden blessing inside the warfare. So, chosen one, instead of asking, "Why do they hate me?" ask, "What is my spirit carrying that the enemy fears so much?" Because their hatred is actually a backhanded compliment. It means you are glowing brighter than you realize. And let me speak to you directly. If you've been feeling weary under the weight of rejection, don't give up. This is not the time to shrink back. This is the time to stand tall, knowing that even hell recognizes your value. You are a target because you are a threat. And if this word is hitting your spirit right now, I want you to drop 999 in the comments. That number is a prophetic sign of divine completion and heavenly protection. It's your way of declaring, "I know who I am, and I won't be moved by hatred." Remember this, you are not hated because you are weak. You are hated because you are powerful. You are not rejected because you are worthless. You are rejected because you are priceless. The spiritual awakening you carry makes you visible in the unseen realm, and that visibility is why hatred follows you. But rejoice, chosen one, because every attack, every whisper, every betrayal is only sharpening you. The more they hate you, the more heaven confirms you, and the more you endure, the stronger your spirit grows. This is the hidden dynamic. What the enemy sends to break you, God uses to make you unshakable. How the presence of a chosen one exposes hidden agendas. It's not paranoia. It's the power of your spirit exposing what others try to hide. Here is a truth you must embrace. Your very presence is disruptive, not because you intend it to be, but because light always exposes what's been hiding in the dark. You carry a spiritual frequency that cannot be silenced, and when you show up, masks start to slip. Have you noticed how people sometimes act differently around you? One moment they're relaxed, the next they seem nervous, fidgety, or even hostile. That is not your imagination. That is the Spirit of God inside you exposing what their flesh tried to cover. The chosen ones are walking mirrors. You don't just reflect yourself, you reflect others back to themselves. Without saying a word, your presence confronts their lies, their hidden sins, their secret motives. This is why some people avoid you. They're not avoiding you. They're avoiding the truth that radiates from you. Look at the ministry of Jesus. Every time he entered a city, demons began manifesting through people. They cried out, "What have you to do with us, Son of God? Have you come to torment us before the time?" Notice, they revealed themselves without him even speaking directly to them. That's what happens when chosen ones walk into environments charged with darkness. Spirits recognize spirits. The same thing happens to you today. Without realizing it, people start confessing things around you. Have you noticed that? Someone suddenly blurts out secrets they didn't plan to tell you. Or someone becomes defensive even when you didn't accuse them of anything. Why? Because your spirit, aligned with the Holy Spirit, pulls truth to the surface. Chosen one, that is why many people cannot stand being around you for long. You expose what they've worked so hard to hide. And this exposure is not always verbal. It's energetic, spiritual, invisible, but undeniable. You are carrying a divine message that shines a holy spotlight. And those who love the dark will hate the light. This is where the warfare comes in. Do not be surprised when you are falsely accused, misunderstood, or attacked. These are defense mechanisms. When hidden agendas are exposed, the people carrying them often lash out to protect themselves. But what feels like hostility against you is actually resistance against the truth you carry. And here's the key. Do not let this make you bitter. God did not place this mantle on you so you could retaliate. He placed it on you so you could remain a standard of truth, even in the midst of chaos. Your job is not to fight every liar or confront every hidden agenda. Your job is to keep shining. The light does the exposing. You just have to keep burning. This exposure is also a gift. Think about how many times God has protected you by letting people reveal themselves early. The friend who betrayed you. The partner who couldn't handle your calling. The co-worker who suddenly showed envy. That was not betrayal alone. That was revelation. Your spirit forced their mask to crack before they could do greater damage to your destiny. That's God's protection disguised as rejection. Chosen one. Don't be surprised if your circle grows smaller. Don't be discouraged when people you thought were for you suddenly reveal they were against you. That's the power of exposure working in your life. God doesn't want you walking into the seventh seal season with parasites attached to your spirit. He will use your presence to flush them out before you step into greater authority. If you've noticed this pattern, people exposing themselves the moment they get close to you, type 444 in the comments right now. That number is a symbol of divine order and alignment. By typing it, you're declaring, I accept the gift of exposure, and I trust God's hand in revealing the hidden. Remember this, your presence is prophetic. You don't need to shout. You don't need to argue. You don't need to prove yourself. Just by standing in the room, heaven backs you. The enemy cannot hide when you show up. The hatred you face is often nothing more than unmasking. And though it hurts in the moment, it saves you in the long run. God is not trying to isolate you. He is refining you. Every hidden agenda exposed is proof that the seal of heaven is on your life. So lift your head, chosen one. You are not cursed for being hated. You are confirmed. You are not weak for being rejected. You are marked, and as long as you carry this light, hidden things will always surface when you arrive. That is the cost of being chosen, and it is also your greatest protection. Jealousy, misunderstanding, and projection. The reason isn't as simple as you think. It's deeper, spiritual, and often painful. Chosen one of the hardest crosses you will bear is realizing that the hate against you often comes from the ones you least expected. Sometimes it's family, sometimes it's friends, sometimes it's people you went out of your way to help. And you sit there asking yourself, why? What did I do wrong? The truth is, you didn't have to do anything. The moment you stepped into your spiritual awakening, you began to shine with a light that others could feel but not always understand. And when people cannot explain what they feel, they misinterpret it. That misinterpretation often becomes jealousy, misunderstanding, and projection. Let's start with jealousy. From the beginning, jealousy has been the seed of hatred against the chosen ones. Cain killed Abel because God favored Abel's offering. Joseph's brothers sold him into slavery because of his dreams. Saul tried to destroy David because the people sang, Saul has slain his thousands, but David his tens of thousands. Jealousy burns when someone else sees in you what they don't see in themselves. When people look at you, chosen one, they see someone who has endured battles and yet still shines. They see someone who didn't quit when they would have. They see someone walking in favor they wish was theirs. Instead of being inspired, they turn bitter. Their jealousy disguises itself as gossip, distance, or even hostility. But make no mistake, it's not because you did wrong. It's because you remind them of what they lack. Now, let's talk about misunderstanding. This one cuts deep because it often comes from people who truly care for you. They don't understand your path. They don't understand your decisions. They don't understand your fire for God. To them, you look strange, too intense, too different. They call you holier than thou, too spiritual, or obsessed. But in reality, they are looking at someone living under a divine assignment. You are not weird. You are awakened. And the awakened will always look strange to the sleeping. Jesus himself faced this. His own family tried to stop him, saying he was out of his mind. The Pharisees called him a blasphemer. The crowd who cheered him on Sunday crucified him on Friday. If even the Son of God was misunderstood, chosen one, why should you expect anything different? Misunderstanding is not proof that you are wrong. It is proof that you are set apart. Finally, there is projection. This is when people take their own inner struggles and place them on you. They accuse you of being arrogant when in reality they are wrestling with insecurity. They call you selfish when, in truth, you have been giving more than anyone else. They say you think you're better than them when all you've done is walk in obedience to God. Projection is the enemy's way of turning their issues into your burden. Chosen one, hear me. Don't carry what doesn't belong to you. Their words are not the truth. Their labels are not your identity. You are not arrogant. You are anointed. You are not selfish. You are sealed. You are not better than anyone, but you are different. And difference always draws fire. Here's what you must remember. Jealousy, misunderstanding, and projection are not random. They are weapons of spiritual warfare. The enemy uses them to discourage you, to make you doubt your calling, to trick you into shrinking so others feel comfortable. But you cannot shrink. You cannot water down the divine message inside of you just to make others accept you. Instead, you must learn to see these things as confirmation. If they are jealous, it means you carry something worth envying. If they misunderstand you, it means you are walking a path they cannot discern. If they project on you, it means your light is revealing the battles they refuse to face. In every case, the very thing they accuse you of is proof that you are chosen. So what should you do? Walk in humility, but do not compromise. Love them, but don't let their hatred redefine you. Pray for them, but never apologize for the oil God has placed on your life. The chosen ones are not called to be liked. They are called to be light. And sometimes that light will blind before it heals. If you've faced this, jealousy from people close to you, being misunderstood by those who should have known your heart, being accused of things that aren't even true, I want you to write, "I know who I am" in the comments right now. Declare it publicly. Because once you know your identity, no amount of jealousy, misunderstanding, or projection can shake you. Remember, chosen one, people's hate is temporary, but God's seal is eternal. Their words fade, but His word over you endures forever. How spiritual awakening makes you an outlier. That's not rejection. It's a sign your spiritual awakening has lifted you out of the crowd. Chosen one of the most painful parts of walking with God is realizing you no longer belong where you used to. The conversations that once entertained you feel empty. The circles you used to run in now drain you. The things that once satisfied your flesh now feel meaningless. Why? secret most people never understand. The hatred you experience is not an accident, it is a signal. It's not a curse, it's confirmation. Every chosen one in history has carried this same pattern. The greater the calling, the greater the opposition. Look at Joseph. His brothers hated him not because of what he did wrong, but because of the dreams God gave him. Look at David. Saul tried to kill him repeatedly, not because David sinned, but because God's anointing made Saul insecure. Look at Jesus himself. Pure love in human form, and yet the religious leaders hated him enough to crucify him. If hatred could not disprove their calling, why do you think it disqualifies yours? Chosen one, the very fact that you are hated is proof that you are set apart. People don't throw stones at empty trees. They only attack when there's fruit. The spiritual warfare that surrounds your life is not because you're weak, it's because you are powerful. Hell does not waste ammunition on the ordinary. Now hear me clearly. Hatred is painful, but it is purposeful. The enemy wants you to believe that rejection means you are unworthy, but God allows rejection to protect and redirect you. The people who hated you were never meant to carry you into your destiny. Their absence is your preservation. Their rejection was God's redirection. This is why Jesus said in John 15:18, "If the world hates you, keep in mind that it hated me first." He was preparing his chosen ones to understand that hatred is not punishment. It is proof of alignment. You're not hated because you're wrong. You're hated because you're right with God. Here's how to reframe it. When people slander you, see it as confirmation that your voice carries weight. When friends abandon you, see it as proof that God is cutting off dead weight. you spend arguing with people is a minute stolen from your mission. Chosen one, how you respond determines whether you rise or stumble. The chosen ones who fall are rarely defeated by demons. They are defeated by distraction. They spend so much energy reacting to hatred that they lose the focus to build, create, and walk in their divine assignment. But those who master their response become unshakable. Hatred turns into fuel. Rejection turns into redirection. Opposition turns into opportunity. The enemy throws fire, but you use it to light your altar. This doesn't mean the hatred will stop. It won't. In fact, as your light grows, so will the opposition. But once you've learned to respond the right way, hatred will never hold the same power over you again. You will see it, recognize it, and keep moving forward. Hatred is confirmation. Betrayal is graduation. Every wound you've carried is proof that you are being refined for greater things. And when the time is right, those who hated you will watch as God elevates you. Just like Joseph's brothers bowed before him, those who despised you will witness your rise. Just like Saul could not stop David's throne, no one can stop your destiny. Just like the cross could not keep Jesus in the grave, no rejection will keep you from resurrection. So what should you do now? Walk boldly. Step confident. Embrace the rejection. Wear it like a crown. Because the hatred of the world is the handwriting of heaven declaring, "You are chosen. You are mine. And nothing will stop what I have begun in you."